Hey y'all, it's your girl, Neri, and I'm back with another story time. Okay, so, um, my 10:30 class is a speech class, and today we're all giving like impromptu speeches. It's basically, it's like you have a question and you answer it right then there. You don't get any time to prepare, but like a few seconds, and you talk about this, whatever the topic is, right? And you just make a quick little speech for like a minute and 15. Okay. And so we're all giving our speeches and everything is going good. And some people have like really fucking funny speeches, so fucking crazy. And then so one kid goes, and this is just like one part of the story. Like there's a bigger part to this story, but I just wanted to say this because it happened. So we're in class, and this dude went and did his speech, and so he did his speech, and as soon as he got up there, he was like, I need to take off my hood for this, right? So he took off his hood, and he talks and does his speech or whatever, and then he goes sit down. Our professor, he's like, is that your head? And the dude looked at him like, what? We're like, yeah, it's clearly his head, like it's on his body. And he was like, wow. He said, you have such a, he said, I feel like I've never actually seen your head before. Because a kid usually wears a hood all the time, so I mean, I guess why he would say that. And he's like, I feel like I've never actually seen your head before. You have a nice upside of your head. Like your head is really nice. And then we're like, what the heck? And he's like, oh, thank you. Like I've been working on it. And we're like, what the heck? This is really weird. So funny. Okay, so after that happens, people are doing their speeches and they're going and whatever. And one of the girls, well, a woman, she's a woman. She comes in, and this is the woman that always comes in, like, right? She's a girl woman, she's like 60 something years old. Anyway, or 30 something years old, sorry. So anyway, she was in the military or whatever, and she has a service dog. She brings with her to class every now and then. And so this woman comes into class early on time. This time she comes in early, and she brings her dog. And she brings her dog in and she sits down and she's making a lot of noise because, she has to bring in her dog and everything. And she has, like, when I tell you, I've never seen someone who has, like, I match my clothes a lot. Like, I wear, like colors, like, if I'm wearing pink shoes, like, I might have pink on my shirt or something like that. Like, I try to coordinate my clothes and match a little bit. I've never seen someone match to T, like to the very T. Like I'm telling you, like she would have a camouflage shirt on, she would have a camouflage jacket on, and she has another camouflage jacket over that. She has a green beanie to match the camouflage. She has green boots to match the camouflage. She has camouflage leggings on. Her backpack is green. She just goes like she would go overboard. So anyway, this woman comes in with her dog. So she sits down and she gets a dog sitting down or whatever, and the person that's doing their speech, they just finished. So we all start clapping, and the dog starts barking at us. Every time, this happened every single time when someone went and did their speech. They finished their speech and the dog started barking. And so we're like, okay, like, right, this is weird, but okay. So dog starts to bark, and so then one girl in our class, she's like, hey, like, professor, like, our speech professor, she's like, can, what's her name, do her speech, like, because we all were doing, like, informative speeches, like, before, and, like, that Friday, like, the Friday before this Monday, because today's Monday, so last Friday, she did her speech, but she didn't finish, because she took too long, and class had ended, and our professor had a meeting, right, so she was like, oh, can she finish? And then he was like, why? And she was like, because she didn't finish? And then he was like, okay, or whatever, I really want you guys to finish your speeches that you're doing now. And she was like, yeah, but she has to go, like, she needs to finish. And so he was like, okay, like, he said, do you think, he asked the woman, he was like, do you think you're ready to go? And she was like, yeah. She was like, yeah, I'm ready to go. And so he was like, I'm just gonna do it on my computer because last time like your speeches were messing up, so I'm just gonna pull up your PowerPoint on my computer. And she was like, okay. So she digs in her backpack. When I tell you this woman takes every folder out of her backpack, she takes out a binder, she takes out a folder, she takes out a school book, she takes out everything. Like the backpack is already huge, and she takes out every single thing in it. Just look for her note cards. And so she finds her note cards. Like, okay, I'm ready, I'm good, or whatever. And so she goes up there and she starts. And her dog is like walking around, barking at people outside and stuff. And she gets her to calm down. And then she continues her speech. And she already has like too many slides. Like she starts where she left off, which is like in the middle, like the middle slide, like number 6, and she has like 12 slides. And so she continues to do this. Like she reads one slide and it takes like 5 minutes each slide because she has to go through everything. Like I'm not talking about like bullet points that she's reading off them. I'm talking about she adds her personal experiences. It's like, girl, seriously? Okay, just editing, but it's not just about her personal experiences. Like each slide should have like bulletin points, for PowerPoints and stuff, like when you're presenting. But she has full-on paragraphs. Like the whole PowerPoint is covered with paragraphs, like each and every single one. And our professor told us not to do that, so it's like she already got so many points taken off. And then she goes on to add experiences about her own life that don't even go with the PowerPoint. So it's like, why are you even saying this? So we're all sitting there. I'm like trying not to laugh because this shit is funny, bro. She's like, everybody in the class is like, oh, and everybody's like just waiting for her. Not to even mention this kid I'm sitting next to, right? This dude in my class. He was sitting there, and so the lady sits like in front of him, and she was like bending down and getting her bag, and she was like putting her butt all in his face. Like I'm sorry I bring it up, but it was just so funny. But anyway, so all of this is like building up for me. It's like I'm just fucking like taking it in. This is funny as shit. And so yeah, she's giving her speech or whatever, and she's talking or whatever, and she's running out of time. I look at my watch and it's like past time. So our professor, he's like, hey, like, I just want to let you know, like, class is over. Like, we're done. Like, this happened last time, like, And so he's like, class is over. Like, I'm sorry, we ran out of time, but we're going to have to do it the next day. Like, we can't continue to do it right now because I have a meeting. And she's like, oh, I was just going to wrap it up. And he's like, okay, well, then do that. And so she continues, and then she continues to talk, but she's not wrapping it up. She's still talking, and he's like, we're running out of time. We ran out of time already. Like, we have to go. And so she was like, I'm gonna wrap it up this time. So she started doing her slides, and she finished them really quickly. I'm thinking to myself, you couldn't have done this the whole time. Like, the whole time we've been sitting here, you couldn't have done that the whole entire time. And so this girl, like, she's like ending her speech. She's done with her speech. So she's flipping between her last slide and a blank slide. She's flipping through both of them, like back and forth while she's still talking after her speech has already been concluded. And then she's like, well, if you guys need help, like places on campus you can go, like there's places like we just started this thing called the green bandana thing or whatever. And it's like if you're having problems or you're thinking about suicide and all this stuff, like you can talk to someone, you can call someone to talk to. And she's showing us the car, and she's like, the green bandana thing that you guys can all go to. And so our professor, like, she's already done at this point. Everybody's like walking out, like not my class, but like other classes are leaving, and my class is like sitting there, like waiting for her to finish, so we can all get up. Like we all want to clap for her, And so he yells at her, and he yells her name, and he's like, hey, he was like, he's like, class is over. I have a meeting to get to. We're done. And so, she was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm so sorry. And he was like, it's okay, but I have to leave. So everybody starts clapping, and we're all leaving the room. And then all of a sudden she says, well, my husband left. And so now I have to take care of the dog. That's why she brought the dog to class. Like, what? The fact that she says she brought the dog because her husband left, like he went to work or something, is actually like really weird because she also brought the dog several times like throughout the weeks. when her husband was probably at home. So it's like, I think you're just bringing a dog for attention, like at this point. And if you're not, then, and if you're really like, really have to watch the dog, I mean, the dog will be fine at home by himself, just like a few hours. It's not like you're leaving him there for 24 hours, but you're leaving him there for an hour by himself. Like, come on now. It was just the craziest thing. But yeah. So yeah, I hope you guys like that. That's that little story, because that's what happened in my speech class today. And so like, yeah, I'm gonna do more stories, and like, if you guys have any other ideas, like, just let me know, because that shit was crazy. So yeah.